and then just change the frequency.
It's not live on YouTube yet, but
No, I think it should be live, or the at least the audio should be live now. Hey everybody, can you hear me? Who we got? Robert Rankin, Mark Cooper.
not live on YouTube yet.
Huh? Oh, not on YouTube yet.
Yeah, yeah, YouTube. I don't see it yet, but
Hmm.
it's live on Facebook though.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I can't see any of that. Oh, you're.
I got to put my camera in a better spot.
You're gonna have to get that new stand sooner than later.
Yeah, right. Here I have it.
Hey Amanda, thank you. So sound on YouTube working now, by the look of it.
There we go. I've got a camera holder. I forget all about it.
Hmm.
We'll get situated here in a minute. Amateur hour. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. We're officially starting at 4 to give people time to join in here. Is that any better?
There we go.
Uh, Chris, is the audio any higher now? I turned it up a little bit. I know there's a delay, but come on, Chris. Yes, no. Or Colby, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay.
Can you hear me all right?
Oh yeah, perfect.
Okay, great.
Ah, okay. Chris says I'm good, so I'll just leave it there and not touch it anymore. All right. So who we got? We got Kellen Conover. Thank you, sir. What were we talking about before? Uh, oh, the your tumblers, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to send me one, I can test it.
Hey, I don't mind. I just got a whole shipment
Okay.
of like 100.
Or let me know where you get them. I can probably have Chris buy one or something.
Timu.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I get them all from there or Penny Yang. She's a distributor
Hmm.
that carries them. I use Penny when I need like a bulk order.
Yeah.
We're just waiting for everybody to get joined up.
Yeah, we're just gonna right at 4 o'clock. We're gonna start.
Okay.
Or maybe, I don't know if you want to wait even a couple minutes after that, just to see if we can get a
Probably
few
not a
people
bad
joined.
idea.
Either way, we don't have too
Just
many
to get
seats.
everyone that's joined, just to get everyone that joined in on time, time to get here.
Yeah.
Just getting that project loaded into the laser that we can have it running the whole time.
Right. So you're running some.
We're gonna run a sheet of leatherette
Okay.
for some hat patches for a bulk order I gotta do. So towards the end of the stream, it'll probably be right on time.
Okay. So you have the Hydro 9, right?
I've got a Hydra 9 in my office right here next to me, and then I have the XRF in the trailer that we use for the mobile engraving shop.
Wow. How big are the sheets that you put into the Hydra?
So the leatherette sheets are still 12 by 24.
Oh,
But
okay.
what's cool is if you put them in correctly, you can put two on top of each other, the top left corner, and then you can put a third one vertically,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
can essentially run 3 sheets of leatherette in one go.
Wow.
It's pretty pretty crazy.
Have you done that
But I
before?
usually I'm just doing one at a time, anyways. But
Yeah. All right. Looks like we got our very own Sakura in the chat. Shout out to Sakura.
uh, he should be on this stream too. I've called that dude enough times at 11 o'clock my time.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Looks like we also have famous comedian Bill Murray.
The Bill Murray?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. All right, guys, we're gonna get started here in a couple minutes. Just give people a chance to join.
Ready when you are, brother.
We got Pepper Bite with the hot peppers.
What was that?
Someone in the chat.
Oh, nice. Oh, there we go. Now I can see the chat.
Oh, cool. All right. We can probably just go ahead and get started.
Okay. That's not too loud in the background, is it?
Here? No, not at all. I'm in a room, doors closed, so.
I didn't know if the machine was picking up any audio or anything.
Oh, no. I mean, at least I can't hear it.
Perfect.
All right, so I'll just start off by introducing myself. I'm not sure everyone here knows who I am, but my name is Murphy. I'm a technician and also a sales rep here at OneLaser. I've been working with lasers for about 10 years. I'm not a creator, I'm not a maker, I've just been a tech. And today the title of the live stream is Passion into Side Hustle, and we're pretty much just going to talk about how you can turn your passion into a side hustle, kind of like our guest Colby Sechelski here did with his trailer. So Colby, what's going on, man?
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Colby Sechelski, owner, operator, and janitor of Sechelski Creations, an SC hat company. We started our venture in the laser engraving world as a hobby for fun. We started with a small little diode laser, just making stuff for ourselves, and mostly I was a full-time boat salesman, and I wanted something cool to give to my customers when they purchased a boat from me. And I thought laser engraved tumblers would be a cool thing for that, with their boat name on it or whatever. So I did some research, tried to find like a local business that would do it for me if I brought like a Yeti in or something like that. And after pricing them out, they were so expensive. I was like, man, that's kind of crazy. I wonder if I could do it myself. And just due to the algorithm of me looking that up, I ended up buying a diode laser, and that's how I got started. And the big thing that started me as a business, that was for fun. I was walking down the docks one day at a boat show. A great friend of mine who does all of our insurance for our customers stopped me, and I was wearing a hat that I'd made that had our company logo on it. And he asked me, he's like, "Who made those hats, man? I'm trying to get some made for myself." And I was like, "Dude, actually, I made it myself. It's pretty cool, right?" He goes, "Yeah, I'll take 200 of them. I'll email you my logo." And I'm like, "Okay, like, where do I get hats at cost? Where do I get that much leather? How much time is it? How do I price this?" I had no bearing to make this a business.
Yeah, real quick.
That guy's order was so big that got me my first big real laser. And yeah, nobody can see it on YouTube. Oh, tell them to go on Facebook.
Uh-oh.
My wife just butt in and said that the YouTube link's not live. Anyways, so that was my first big order that turned. I was like, man, that could be a business. That was easy. And so it just kind of stemmed from there, and we're now 4 years into it, and now it's my full-time job.
Yeah. So it's kind of crazy to me how you can go from boat salesman to like kind of starting your own small business, and that you decided to go full time, even though it sounds, I mean, at least in my eyes, sounds like boat salesman just sounds like you're set. You know, you don't really have to do anything else. You can just stay a boat salesman. But you were actually
Yeah,
more profitable doing what you're doing now.
I did it both ways for a long time. Like all work during the day, and then I'd come home and do my laser business. And just to throw some numbers out there, so maybe some of the people can relate. The first full year that we were a business, that I was doing it part time, we still brought in like 50 grand in gross sales.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, that's a solid side hustle, right?
Yeah.
And then the next year it was more. And then the next year it was even more. And so last year, 2024, was for the first 4 months up until about April, I was doing both part time laser, full time boat.
Mm-hmm.
And around that April timeframe, I split ways with the dealership I was working at, and I was like, well, let's dive in. Let's see what this thing can do, and let's send it to the moon and build this business to where it is. Now it's a six-figure income. It's still a struggle, you know. You're
Yeah.
six figures, but you got overhead and inventory, and then you got to
Absolutely.
pay yourself the living. But I can tell you, it's every year we've grown over 50% growth year over year over year over year. So
Wow.
I'm excited to see this year. We're tracking to beat last year, which should put us in a two in front of the number with a six-figure income. Let's hope.
Yeah.
Um, but it's possible, and it's me and my wife. I don't have any employees. I'm in my home office in a spare bedroom. So you can really take this to another level. There's a lot of business out there. There's a lot of other laser engravers in my area, including some really good friends of ours, but they do a totally different thing. The thing with what the laser engraving is, there's so much you can do. I found my niche, and it's hats. Other people do just tumblers. Other people just do woodworking, signs, acrylic. I mean, there's so much you can do
Yeah.
that even when trends stop, like if one day leather patch hats stop being cool, I can switch gears into a different
Absolutely. Yeah.
media and not have to lose my whole business. You know, I've got a ton of hats in inventory, so that would suck. But
Well.
but no, it's cool because it's um, such a vast majority of what you can do. Like how much stuff it's possible with this. And when somebody asks me, well, what all can you do? I think the question is, the shorter answer is what I can't do. You know.
Yeah. Well,
So
what do you want to do? Because I get asked that too. I was like, well, what can the machine do? It's like, well, your imagination is the limit. You know.
right, yeah. You think of something and then bring it to me, and I'll tell you if I can or can't do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's maybe also when you're starting into a business where it can get confusing and you can lose focus super fast.
Yeah.
If you try to be a jack of all trades, you're going to be that. You're a jack of all trades, master of none, right? The saying.
Yeah.
Versus be the expert in what you like. Find something that you like, you can sell, that can be your niche,
Mm-hmm.
and run with that until you can't anymore. And that's kind of what I did with this hat stuff. Was, yeah, I've got a rotary tool. I do some tumblers and stuff here and there, but to be honest with you,
Yeah.
the hats are 95% of what I do for a business. And I don't vary from that because I stay busy with it.
Right.
Now, if I had three employees, a warehouse, and other stuff like that, maybe then I could start doing everything. Right now, the hat thing is doing well for me.
Yeah. All right, man. So real quick, I'm gonna go over the table of contents here, or some
Sure.
topics we're gonna cover. I mean, I know we covered a lot in these kind of opening statements here, but
Yeah, right.
basically, we're gonna go over who is Sechelski Creations. We're gonna go over starting a laser business, how to price and sell your products, avoiding beginner mistakes, and then at the end, make sure you stay to the end. We have a flash discount code as well as open Q&A. So we're gonna jump into the next slide here, and basically we kind of already went over who is Colby Sechelski, and you mentioned you were a boat salesman turned laser engraver full time, and
Yep.
so is there anything else you
Just
kind of
a
want to go over?
just a
Anything?
stay-at-home dad that me and my wife, we have two daughters. We get to work from home. We get to watch our kids grow while creating a business that's our own. We're born in Both of us were born and raised in Texas. And 2020, we moved out to Florida in search of
Oh wow.
new surroundings and job opportunities out here. And so that's where we've landed here. We're out in Port St. Lucie, Florida, just enjoying the heat and the humidity.
Yeah.
And you know, we like boating, we like fishing, we like whatever. We're just good old people from Texas. It's trying to have fun out here, and this business has been super special to us. It allows me to stay at home. I don't have to go to a 9 to 5,
Right.
5 or 6 days a week. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And have fun doing it. I like this. Like it's work, but it's not like, oh, I gotta go start to late. It's fun stuff still.
Yeah.
I'm kind of an artist in my background growing up, so this kind of lets me feed my artistic side and have fun doing it and make some money while doing it. So it's all super cool stuff.
Yeah. All right, man. So we're gonna get into the actual topics here. So starting a laser business. So what are some things, in your opinion, that you got to think about whenever you're buying your first machine? So
Oh,
I
for
know you
sure.
mentioned originally you had an X tool.
Yep. I
So
started with an X tool, and sorry, keep going. I'm interrupting you
no,
there.
no, no, not at all. I was kind of say I was just gonna kind of do a callback to how you mentioned that you were originally just trying to get things made for your boat customers, you know,
Yeah.
and then the demand for that grew.
Yeah.
So
We started with a little cheap machine. I think back then on Christmas it was for $700 or something, $750. I was like, well, I'll give it a go for that. I don't
mm-hmm.
know anything about lasers or programming or any of that stuff. So I ended up buying the X tool and had it for about 2 months before I realized that it may not do what I wanted to do as fast as I like. Great
Mm-hmm.
if you're just making stuff at home for fun. Good machine. It was so easy to use that that's probably what got me hooked. That software was just super simple. The first time I tried Lightburn, I was like, whoa, that's on another level of needing to know what you're doing.
Yeah, right.
Uh,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, when that guy ordered 200 hats for me on the docks there that day, I was like, that's going to take me ages to do on my X tool.
Yeah.
So I ended up with that money I got in from that job. I went and bought an ohm tech, 80-watt blast tube CO2, and I
Mm-hmm.
ran it to the ground for about 2.5 years, um, and dialing in settings and all that. But towards the end of it, I was running so much production
Mm-hmm.
so frequently and all day long that I ended up having to tinker with the machine. That's definitely a machine that you want to learn to tinker with. I was having to adjust things and fix things and
Yeah.
do belts and all this other stuff, do alignments like 3 times a month. And
Yeah.
I ended up messing with the machine more than I was able to produce
Yeah.
with it. So I was like, okay, time to find a new machine, something to upgrade to. And then Enter the Thunderbolt came out. Ended up purchasing one of those because I thought RF laser, I could run that thing to the ground, super fast speeds.
Mm-hmm.
Great machine. Had some shortcomings, I think, as far as the design. They sell us sheets of leatherette in 12 by 24 inches.
Right.
Machine's only 20 inches wide. So everything I bought, I'd have to trim it down. Takes time. Then you've got 4 inches of scrap material instead of 4 inches of usable material. So you
Right.
put that in there, run the machine. Just having an RF laser, it engraves great and it cuts fine. The air assist on that one was not my favorite. had the little angle thing on the
Oh yeah,
side, the
the
blue
chair.
air, all that stuff. And then enter you guys came out and produced this XRF that was 12 by 24. It had a vertical air assist and all the things that I think I could have complained about with the Thunder. And
Right.
I was like, oh, what? That I need a second machine because I was building this trailer out that you see on the screen here.
Mm-hmm.
I needed another machine for that. So I reached out to you guys. We got hooked up. I got the machine. It fits perfectly in the trailer. And then after playing with it, using with it for a couple of months, I like to give things a good run before I back it. I want to make
Right.
sure it's going to be long term.
Mm-hmm.
And after using that machine for a while, I was like, dude, I could just get another one of these and get rid of my other machine that has two little things here or there I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. I ended up selling my Thunder and then enter the Hydra right here in the background.
Yeah.
I bought the big machine because I missed the bed space of my bigger own tech. To
Yeah.
do other projects or big sheets of material or whatever. People ask me for wood signs every now and then, and so I was like, well, I'll go with the Hydra. I get the RF tube, I get the glass tube for cutting,
Mm-hmm.
so I miss nothing on the machine, and it's got a 35-inch bed space. So ultimately, this is probably my favorite. It is without a doubt my favorite machine I've ever used,
Wow.
and it has been flawless for us. We've been putting it to work. It's running a job right now, trying to make
Oh
some
yeah,
money
that's
while
right.
we're streaming.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I guess we
And
got
it's
into
quiet. I mean, I'm an arm's length away from my machine, and you guys can't hear it on the
mm-mm.
stream. And it's running the chiller and the
And the
exhaust
exhaust and
fan and
everything. Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. I think
Oh
I
yeah, so
think we have
choosing
like a
choosing your
60
machine
decibels.
is super important. You've got
Right.
to. My daughter, she walked in and said, "OneLaser is the best laser." Uh, yeah, choosing your machine, you really kind of want to start with an idea of what you want to do.
mm-hmm.
If you want to do big wood signs, get the bigger machine right away, and then you don't never ask. But if you're not sure what you're getting into and you want to tiptoe into this business, the XRF is such a budget-friendly machine that can also produce professional quality engraving.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely. That's our
that's a
best
great
seller.
starter later. If you know you're doing this and you're doing big projects, then by all means reach out to us and let us help you walk through the right machine. But you can't go wrong with the dual source. You got both the super nice fine engraving, the super fast cutting of the 100 watt in the Hydra 9 specifically.
Yeah.
Um, our big bed space where you can do anything from small projects to large projects, the pass through door to do even larger stuff. I mean, come on, the world's your oyster on that. But picking the right machine is super important. You don't want to be like me and go through 4 laser engravers in 4 years
yeah.
before you found one that you're like, okay, I can stick with that one for a while. I
Yeah.
can't tell you how much money I've spent on laser and machines to finally land on one that I'm going to keep for a long time.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we also covered why Colby chose OneLaser. So it was some of the features that you didn't like on other machines we happen to have on our machine, and then a few months in, you just uh, the reliability, the build of the machine, the quality, just everything kind of just came together.
I've done zero maintenance on this Hydra since I've gotten it. I've cleaned the lens here and there every now and then, but this thing has been flawless, which is awesome to see. The backing of the company too. Talking with Sakura and Chris and you guys and
Mm-hmm.
everybody that is behind OneLaser too. People buy from people more than they buy a product,
Right.
and you guys and your drive and your ambition and your overall like customer service ability is what closed the deal for me to get 2 of these machines.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. We definitely try. So organizing your workspace. So a trailer, typically you think like that's kind of a cramped space, but you seem to have a system that really works. So like, how do you
Yeah,
organize your trailer for it to be a functional workspace?
man, it was a it was a lot of pen and paper schematics and drawing, and then when I got the trailer, before I laid anything out, I would take blue tape and tape off like there's going to be a bench here
Oh yeah, yeah,
and a
yeah.
rack here and a bench here, and then you just kind of walk through it all and you go, okay, how's this flow if I'm going to be in a busy environment?
Hmm.
You guys want to see it?
Yeah, I think we could do a virtual
Yeah,
tour.
let's run out there. We'll go see it real quick. Let me know. I can't see the camera on my phone, so let me know if I'm out of whack here.
Yeah.
I still my camera to work on my phone. I don't know why. Oh, here's the trailer. Can y'all see it right? Oh, Murph, can you see it?
Can you guys hear me? Uh, David, I think you have to turn
There we go.
your
Now I
camera
got
around.
you.
Yeah, I don't know why my audio
Yeah.
cut off for a sec there.
Let me know if this is working. I can't see my camera. I don't know why it's not working.
Yeah, no, we're looking at a thumbnail.
Failed to start camera. I know. I can't see it, so I can't flip it around.
Hmm.
I don't know why. Sorry, guys. I'm computer illiterate here, so don't blame me.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm seeing a thumbnail. It's your computer
I don't, it
thumbnail.
says fails to start camera. I still can't get it to go here.
There it goes.
Okay.
Yeah, we see it now.
Well, I'm just gonna have to turn it around this way then. Is that working? Can you
Yeah,
see it?
yeah, that's working, man.
Okay. So this is the rig. It opens up. We've got our XRF right here. All of our hats on the wall. On this hat wall, we can house almost 1,000 hats if they're fully stocked. We run a 7,500 watt generator on when events don't have power. We've got our little table here that we built, some of our projects we've made and samples of stuff we've done. And then, of course, the machine, our exhaust goes up and out. And of course, in Florida, we had to have it's still backwards.
Oh yeah, yeah, there it goes.
There we go. You gotta tell me I was backwards, Murph. I'm
Oh,
sitting here. All right, let's try it again. All right, there's the hat wall,
yeah.
800 or so, almost 1,000 hats on the wall. Generator, table we got going on here. To the rest. Yeah, thank you, babe. There's some of our projects we take to shows and display, tumblers, hats, felt hats, these cool little toolboxes, some of our designs we put up there for everybody to pick and choose from. And then there's the machine.
Oh, wow, you even got
We've
it
got
shut
our
down.
air plumbed up and out. And then, of course, mini split to keep us cool in the summer. What's really cool, too, is I run this little battery backup down here. So if we ever lose power or anything like that, that machine keeps clean energy in the laser. That way we don't have any damage to the sensitive electronics and things like that. But yeah, this was a project. We laid the floors, we painted the walls and did the trim, custom built all these tables,
Yeah.
installed the rack here for all the hats, installed the overhead lighting.
Yeah, I can see
It
the
was
lighting's
a it
nice.
was a cool project to undertake. But it definitely you learn by failure. And the first couple of shows we go to, everyone's looking in, they're going, man, it's dark inside, even with these big overhead lights. So
Yeah.
then I put in this 4-panel light to flash on the hat so that they display. And we've got performance hats. We got your rich stuff over there, your Richardson style and Yupon classics and things like that. So little variety.
Yeah. Something for everyone.
Man, I tell you what, when it comes to going to an event and going to a show, it's a showstopper. It kicks the crap out of being in a tent.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's
And then the
definitely a really,
outside,
really nice setup.
we had it all wrapped with logos and what we do, and we got the OneLaser stuff on there. OneLaser is the best laser. That's our daughter Evelyn. She
Yeah.
loves it. She's always in my office with me. In the back, QR code. So if anyone's following behind me and they get interested, they can scan it and
Oh yeah, there you
get all
go.
of our info.
Yeah.
So that's the inspiration behind that there. Now I got to figure out how to twist my camera around again because I don't see the button on it. But we'll go back inside and finish up in here.
All right. That's a pretty good setup, man.
Are there any? Does anyone have any questions in the chat over anything we've talked about so far?
Let's see. Stubborn Bill. Stubborn Bull is asking how big it is. The trailer.
It's an 8.5 by 16, and it's got a 7-foot ceiling on it.
Wow.
The 7-foot ceiling is definitely needed though, because that's killer. There's the Hydra. We're running a project right now on some blackout leather hat.
Oh, nice. It's a full sheet.
Yeah, it's a full sheet of 12 by 24, and it's ripping along.
All right. Let's see. Let's get back to our slides here then. But yeah, after we'll have a Q&A, and if anyone has questions specifically about the trailer or anything, we'll get to a few questions at the end. So creating products people actually want. I think we've kind of already touched on that. I think the key to that is just having variety, right?
Definitely. You gotta have multiple streams of income too. Oops,
Yeah.
I think I just lost audio a little bit there. Have multiple streams of income. If you've got I like to do business to business sales.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where the real money's at. Because they're going to be larger orders. Yeah, you might give up a little margin here and there, but would you rather make 100 one-off hats or 100 of the same hats, and put them in one box instead of 100 boxes, one shipping label instead of 100 shipping labels, one customer to deal with instead of 100 customers to deal with?
Yeah.
It's all those things pile up. And it gets frustrating when you get 100 one-off orders versus 100 of the same thing. And so I like business to business sales. Guaranteed, if they're going to buy hats, they're probably going to buy T-shirts, which I know you can't do with a laser, but for most of us makers, we can do shirts too.
Yeah.
They're probably going to buy tumblers. They're probably going to buy keychains. They're probably going to buy business cards. They're probably going to buy magnets. They're probably going to buy name badges. I mean, planners, little leatherette notebooks with a planner inside of it. I can't tell you how many companies I've dealt with. They're like, hey, a couple of our boat manufacturers that I've dealt with in the past know that I do this, and they still like me, so they use me for some of their stuff. And they'll go, hey, we're putting a package together for our annual dealer meeting. What do you think we should do? Well, you do a hat, a planner, a tumbler, 4 or 5 koozies, keychains, pens, name tags, and you put it all in a bundle, and then you sell 1,000 of those.
Yeah.
And then now you've got 7 or 8 products in that one bundle. Or you do a realtor. You get with a realtor, do closing gifts for realtors. Do a cutting board with the customer's name on it. Do keychains for the new keys of their house. Do a tumbler. Do a wine bottle opener. You could package that in a nice little basket, put a wrap on it, and sell it to the realtors at 10 or 15 at a time, or however many closings they can do in a month. And then you got repeat customer business. That way you're not relying on what the trending fad is in the hat world, like what patch design is popular this week or what went viral last week. You can get that repetibility of this business is going to order from me this many every month, all the time for the rest of forever.
Yeah.
And you get like 15 big businesses ordering from you, and you're done. You're full time.
Yeah, and you being in the
Guarantee, like the way I vet the customers I look for when I'm out hustling to go get new business.
hmm
If the customer has a cool looking logo, I guarantee they paid somebody to design it.
right.
They're proud of it, and they want to put it on stuff.
hmm
If they wrap their company vehicles with a car wrap, guess what? They're going to buy hats, shirts, tumblers, and things like that from you too. So that's
Yeah.
another thing you venture into, and now you have way more products, way more versatility.
Yeah, so I guess we can also kind of get into like what platforms or channels do you sell on? So like aside from, because for business to business, I think you would have to do more outreach as opposed to just kind of like putting things up on like an Etsy shop or something, right?
Yeah. So what was cool, business to business, you're not paying any marketing fees, or you're not getting a cut of your income taken out. Versus, I have an Etsy store. I sell some stuff here and there on Etsy, but between having to pay for marketing on Etsy to be
hmm
seen, the fees that they charge, the overpriced shipping that they have, you have some of your orders. I mean, you're taking almost 50% of your income away because you have to use Etsy.
Right.
Versus if you had your own website that you invested in, you get all of the money minus the 3% credit card transaction fee. So I would urge everyone to have their own website and have it designed, even maybe pay somebody to make one professionally for you.
Yeah.
But then going and knocking on doors and getting out, you have to be successful doing this. I think you should have a little bit of salesmanship and an
Yeah.
ability to talk to people. Like all the
Right.
time, I get people ask me like, "How did you get?" I wouldn't even call myself that successful. Like it's a job, it pays our bills and things like that. It's great,
Right.
but I'm not a millionaire. Uh, but I go out and I hustle, and I'm a salesman naturally, so that part's easy for me. I
Yeah.
think where a lot of people struggle is they don't know, or they don't have the knowledge of sales and how to close a deal.
hmm
Because a lot of makers are stay-at-home moms or crafters, and those may not be the most eccentric salespeople. So you've got to maybe
Yeah.
have a course, take a course and learn some sales tactics, follow-up processes, and things like that, and
hmm
that could help you close more deals for your business. Because ultimately, getting your product in the hands of the other people is the best sales tactic.
Yeah.
Make a sample for a company you want to prospect. Take those samples and deliver it to the right people is also the right thing to do.
Okay.
Not just drop it off with the front desk lady. The front desk person will probably not give that product to the right person. They're going to take it home for themselves. Um, you need to get in front of like marketing directors or business owners if it's a smaller business, or somebody that's in charge of apparel product, swag, gifts, whatever, marketing equipment,
hmm
things like that. You got to get in front of those people and give them stuff. Seeing something with my logo on it is cool. Seeing
Right.
something with your business's logo on it really hits home and goes, now they have a vision of what
Right.
it would look like, and they're more apt to go ahead and make an order
hmm
because you gave them something for free without them asking.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing about prospecting businesses and how to gain new businesses. Go see them in person, local businesses, with your name, with your product, with their logo on it, and then give it to them. No purchase necessary, and see how many deals you can close doing that. Have a price sheet too. Also, know where you want to price things,
Yeah.
and
We're
that's
gonna get
all going
into
to be
pricing here.
dependent on your
Let me just
your
change
own
that.
your
Yeah.
own
Here's the.
desire, like how much money you want to make. But I take a percentages. I'm a percentage guy, so I take my cost I multiply it by a percentage that I'm happy with,
Mm-hmm.
that, pays my bills, keeps me stocked, allows me to buy more product with the money and things like that, and keeps me flowing as a cash flow business. Cash flow is key. When you run out of
Yeah.
cash, you can't buy more product. And when you can't buy more product, you can't sell more product.
Mm-hmm.
So take your costs, multiply it by a percentage of money that you want to make. You got to account for credit card fees and advertising and whatever all else. But I've got you can see on the screen here, I've got my price sheet up for everyone to see. It's public knowledge. Use it, copy it, adjust it if you want. But that's a template that I use, and it's been successful for me. I'm not the cheapest hat maker on the planet, but I can play on quality. I don't use a whole lot of leatherette. I use a lot of real top grain, like Italian based leather, because it's quality. And with my performance line of hats, they're more expensive, but they're quality. So I wanted to really drive home that we're not just a print shop that makes cheap hats. We make high end, expensive, nice quality hats. And the way I approach that, when somebody says, well, sometimes you're not as competitive on price. And
Yeah.
I'm like, no, but would you like your business to look like you're giving this product away to your customer?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want it to look cheap and be cheap? Or do you want it to look quality, and you as a company are putting your name on quality products, which accentuates that you're a quality business? And that usually hits home to it. Oh yeah, I don't want it to look bad. Okay,
Yeah.
well then pay more and get a quality brand, like name brand hat, good quality leather. You can look and feel leather and leatherette, and they can look the same, but when you touch it, it's totally different.
Oh yeah.
So that's where I'm like, look, yeah, everybody's using leatherette because it's cheap, it's easy, it's available, it's less
Mm-hmm.
work. My cost on a leather patch versus a leatherette patch is 4 times what it would cost me to do leatherette.
Wow.
But I get an extra $5 a hat over someone selling leatherette, at least.
Mm-hmm.
So that more than pays for that difference. But it looks nicer, in my opinion, for all my
Yeah.
opinions. So
Yeah. No, and
now I
that
still
hat.
do some leatherette. Like there's some cool stuff you can't do with real leather, like colors and glow in the dark and all this other stuff. But you still have your leatherette too, and I support all those guys. They're koozies.
Yeah.
They're at koozie right here. Leatherette hat right here with the glow in the dark.
Oh, nice.
Love it. But my staple is real leather, and that's kind of where we've hammered home on that. So
Yeah.
that's that's what makes me a little bit, I wouldn't say unique, but different than the 50 other laser engravers in my town.
Right. No, and the good thing is to offer those products also because someone's going to approach your trailer looking for these bright colors, or different styles, and
Sure.
just having it available is also, a huge plus.
Yeah, and then you know, upselling them to the waterproof series, the performance hats. They're
Yeah.
waterproof and sweatproof. You sell a regular hat for $30, or you can sell a waterproof hat for 45. And here in Florida, it's not water, it's sweat. You could have this hat for 3 years, you won't sweat through it.
Right.
Versus if you had a regular hat, you might have a little sweat stain on it after a couple of weeks.
Right.
I get nobody that complains about the price of my performance hats, even though they're $45.
Yeah. Well,
Because it's a price competitive product for it. So that's I think everybody enjoys a quality product.
absolutely. Yeah.
Just like you could buy a no name tumbler, or you can buy a Yeti or a Stanley or whatever. People
Hmm.
buy Stanleys and Yetis all the time because they're quality.
Yeah. All right. So I think the key point is to you charge based off a percentage off of what you think your time is worth. So you basically
Yeah.
charge a
But
percentage of what you want to make, essentially.
right. Know your costs, break it down to each patch costs this much money, each hat costs this much money. put a number on it that's worth your time to make it and do all the stuff and pay for your equipment and things like that. And then be competitive in your market too. You know, you can't be $45 for a Richardson when everyone else is 25. But you can know your market. You can look on Facebook Marketplace and see who's selling leather. I mean, there's advertisements all over the place for leather patch hats. You can go on there and do a little research and figure out where your market is. But then when you get into the wholesale side of things and you start doing bulk orders, you definitely have to have some sort of percentage discount available for larger orders to make it worth everyone's time.
Right.
And effort. And then ultimately, you got to make it make sense for yourself. So don't race to the bottom is another thing I'll say. You know, you don't have to be the cheapest person out there to earn business. You can be competitive without being cheap.
Right.
I see a lot of makers that sell stuff for way less than I would. And it's like, man, I know my overhead and my machine cost and how much time it takes. I don't think I would still be a business if I was in some of those categories as far as how cheap I was. You know, you gotta say like, look, I want to be around forever and being your guy forever to make your hats forever. I can only do that if it makes enough sense to keep a business open.
Yeah, I think that's one of our beginner mistakes here is undervaluing your work.
Yeah.
So if we get into our,
You know, this isn't easy for someone to figure out. You know, we have a $12,000 laser engraver to do this with. We've got a $2,000 hat press to do it with. I've got a probably 25 grand tied up in that trailer that I take to events to do this with. I've got $20,000 worth of hats on the walls in both the trailer and the office. I've got thousands of dollars worth of leather invested. You know, it's not cheap to run a business, so make it make money. Profit is not a bad word.
Yeah. So let's tackle some of these topics here. So a couple things that Colby wish you knew before starting out. Machine maintenance. So what did machine maintenance look like to you whenever you had just started?
Well, on the diode laser, there was really only one thing to do, and that was keep the lens clean. You gotta keep your machines nice. On the big machine now, and on the XRF, you gotta clean it regularly, especially if you're putting it to work like we do. You know, almost every day, all day. Pull the lens off, clean it properly, wipe your mirrors down, go in and wipe the exhaust vents off so they don't get clogged up. And then probably something I should do more often than I do, pull your exhaust fan apart and clean the blades on that too, because it's like a ceiling fan. It collects dust on the blades.
Absolutely.
And you can clog that up. You know, these machines are expensive and they're electronic devices, so they are sensitive to dust and dirt and debris. Now, granted, these machines all have all their electronics in a totally separate compartment, so you don't really have to worry about like motherboards and things like that. But keep the laser head clean, keep the belts tight, keep the mirrors clean, make sure that you have proper laser alignment from your beam. You're bouncing a laser off of 1, 2, and 3 mirrors, and each one is adjustable. So you've got to make sure that that thing is perfectly good so that you get nice, crisp, clean engravings. The cool thing I've noticed about the OneLaser product that I've not seen on any other laser is the threads on the adjusters are, the bolts are thicker, the threads are beefier, and they've got the lock washers on the threads, so that once you get the machine aligned, if it wasn't from chipping or whatever, once it's aligned and you lock those threads down, I haven't done an adjustment on the Hydra, and I've had it for now 6 months or so.
Yeah.
I haven't had any adjustments on that. The XRF, it stays in the trailer. It bounces down the highway all the time. Every time I take it somewhere, it's going up and down with the trailer nodes. Since I put it in the trailer, I haven't adjusted the lenses on that one either, or the mirrors or the alignment or anything. It's been more than solid. My own tech felt like I had to adjust it twice a week.
Yeah.
Towards the end, because they would just loosen up like screws do. You're moving the machine. There's a lot of moving parts, and you do this back and forth 5,000 times every hour. Screws might come loose a little bit. But yeah, maintain that. Keep your lenses clean. Clean your air filters and your air exhaust fans. And then on the ones with a chiller, you got to make sure you got plenty of coolant.
Yep.
But that's important. I mean, take care of your machine. They're very expensive machines. Make sure you take care of them, and they'll take care of you.
Yeah, I guess a couple things for new users is you really got to clean your optics. Um, I know it's something that you can probably overlook or not think about if you're not asking or researching it. But I remember being in tech support for several years that a lot of burned up lenses just because they wouldn't take the head apart at least once a week and just wipe it down.
Yeah, and the difference in the engraving quality, if your lens is dirty,
Mm-hmm.
can make or break the project. So
Yeah.
always make sure that that's clean. Make it an effort to go in, before you start a job and you start the machine up, wipe your lens down real quick, put it back in, and then go to work.
Mm-hmm. All right. What about our next topic? Using the wrong materials. Um,
Been
so,
there, done that. Been there,
so
done that. So using the wrong stuff, like making hats, the adhesive is everything. If
hmm.
this patch falls off this hat,
Mm-hmm.
and I've sold 100 of them to that customer, they're going to be really mad.
Oh
They're
yeah.
going to want their money back or a refund or me to remake the whole thing.
Right.
So using the wrong adhesive and the patch falls off, using the wrong leather and it's too dirty on the machine. Like there's different types of leather. There's a chrome tan leather and a veg tan leather.
Mm-hmm.
Chrome tan leather is significantly cheaper, but it is extremely dirty to work with. It engraves nice, but man, it's got black soot all over the place. Your machine will be filthy. You touch it and the engraving will rub off on your hands. Your hands will be black.
I think it even
Um,
stains the rest of the leather too. No, when you try to wipe it off, it kind of just smears.
yeah, yeah, you can, if you wipe it the wrong way, it'll smear right over all your leather and get your all your leather dirty. Versus like veg tan leather, you can engrave it and put your thumb right on it, and it's not going to rub the engraving off, and it's not going to dirty the leather. Um,
Yeah.
and then adhesives, I personally use Lone Star Adhesive. I am an affiliate from Lone Star Adhesive as well. They're great people. Josh Evans is a great dude, and they make a solid product. I've never, in the time I've used their adhesive,
Mm-hmm.
never had failures. Never had anyone call me and say, "Look, this didn't come it came off or whatever." I used to, before I used those guys, I used to use leather cement, and I would have to each patch dip a brush in the cement, brush it on the backside of the patch, and then put it on the hat. You
Wow.
get too much glue on there and it seeps out the edges, and now you've ruined the hat. You get not enough glue on there and the edge peels up.
Mm-hmm.
So, from a production standpoint, doing it quick, fast, and in a hurry, that stuff slowed me down so bad. Now that I use a regular heat press adhesive like Lone Star, I can run two hat presses at one time, doing two hats a minute, pressing on and off, on and off, on and off.
Yeah.
And it tripled my speed at my hat press station just because of how easy it is to use. So I learned, don't use the wrong material on that. Um, using cheap plywood to cut, the box store Home Depot plywood, it's got glue spots on it that sometimes, no matter what laser you have, it just won't cut it because it
Yeah.
hits that glue and it's tough. So get quality wood, quality veneer, quality acrylic,
Yeah.
cast acrylic versus laser safe
Extruded.
acrylic.
Right.
Acrylic can be a really deadly thing. If you get the wrong acrylic, the toxic fumes it puts out, it has to be laser safe acrylic. It still might smell terrible. I hate doing acrylic. It smells horrible, but you get the laser safe material, you're not breathing in toxic fumes.
Mm-hmm.
Have proper ventilation if you're doing that stuff too.
Yep. Yeah. Same with
But
MDF.
yeah,
Some MDF is just so dense you really can't get through it. So I mean, it just takes a little bit of trial and error to find out which material really works best.
Sure.
Let's see our next bullet point here: underestimating time and effort. So you want to kind of expound on that?
Yeah. You you can definitely get into something that you're not prepared for in this business. Just like when this guy ordered 200 hats and I had a diode laser.
Oh yeah.
A customer is going to expect a good turnaround time, but if your laser can only do 12 patches at a time and it takes 12 hours per patch and you got 200 of them to do, you're going to be a while making 200 hats
Yeah.
versus a machine like the Hydra. I'm almost a minute 20 dialed in per patch, maybe less than that on some of the, depends on the design,
Mm-hmm.
but at like a minute 20 per patch start to finish. So if I put a sheet of leatherette in there and I run 40 patches, I'm going to be like 48 to 50 minutes engraved and cut for a finished product. That's 40 at a time. So now a 200 hat order, I can finish in half an afternoon,
Wow.
you know, start to finish on the machine. Then you go to the press station, prep it all there. You can turn around you see 200 hats would be, let's call it $20 a hat for easy math, $4,000 that you could potentially finish in a day if you were really hustling.
Yeah. I think if
That's
you
the advantage of having a good machine.
absolutely, yeah, especially if you already quote somebody, and then the production time just takes so much more time and so much more effort than you had originally anticipated, and now you're
Yeah,
out on so much more time, but you can't really go back and change your price because you
right.
might lose that customer. You know,
Right.
so
Yeah.
something to
I've
consider.
definitely underbid some projects before that I didn't, like
Hmm.
yard signs and stuff like that. You go,
Yeah.
oh, okay, materials cost this much and here's my markup. And then boom, you send it off and you're like, okay, that was way more of an undertaking than I thought.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, I know for next time I got to be more money to make it worth my time.
Yeah. And then we kind of already discussed undervaluing your work, um, trying to do it alone. So you mentioned that you kind of have like a husband wife kind of team business going on. So originally, was it just you, or were you guys always working together?
I'm sorry, your audio is cutting out a little bit for me here
Oh,
and there.
sorry. Uh,
I
oops.
don't know if it's me or if it's you.
It could be my microphone thing, but we're just kind of
Mike check.
going. Is any better?
Yeah, yeah. All right, go ahead.
All right. Yeah. No, I was just saying for the next bullet point, they're trying to do it alone. Um, would you say that you would be able to, get as much done if it was just you by yourself, or I mean, does your wife help you a lot with this?
My wife keeps me organized.
Okay.
You know, dude. If it wasn't for her, this place would be look like a bomb went off. I'm a very unorganized person when it comes to like placement of stuff in
Hmm.
the office. You've got to have like a checks and balances. Like I'll sell jobs and work all day long. I'll sit in front of this laser all day long. But then there's that one thing that you do that you're like, ah. Mine is for me. There's two things that is like my least favorite part.
Hmm.
Going to the hat press and standing there for an hour, clicking the hat press down and up, and then putting stuff in shipping boxes.
Yeah.
Man, I can put off putting a shipment in a box for a couple of days before I'm like, all right, I really, really should
Yeah.
put that order that's already finished and paid for in their box and send it off. She'll be the one to be like, you got to get this out of here. Get it out of our house.
Yeah.
So it's definitely good. I mean, you can totally get overwhelmed with this if you're just trying to do it alone. If
Yeah.
you've got a partner or spouse that can help you, that's tremendous. Having a supportive spouse is the most important. Like whether they want to help with the business or not, if they support you doing it, that's huge.
Absolutely. Especially
Um,
because of your growth. You're saying that you grow, what was it, 50% every year since you started?
for the last 2 or 3 years, yeah, we've done that. So I'm
Yeah.
to the point. I think I'm to the point where I've plateaued enough to where my next step might be an employee.
Oh.
And man, you look at a lot of these guys that like preach business stuff
Mm-hmm.
and hire out what you don't want to do so that you can do what you do best. I think I do best in selling the job and then, of course, running the laser.
Mm-hmm.
But I could hire somebody to do the hat press, to box things and ship it, to take it to the shipping stores, to organize materials that come in and things like that. And then that would allow me to step away from doing the grunt work into going out and growing our business more. And that's kind of where I'm at, kind of like my next desire of my steps is to maybe hire some part-time help or have some part-time help to do the um, unskilled. I don't want to say unskilled to do the mundane part of the work, and then let me get out there and go door knock on other businesses and sell more jobs and
Yeah.
get more income to pay everybody more money. I'm almost to that level where our growth is either storefront or employee.
Wow.
But yeah, doing it alone is tough,
Yeah.
especially when you and I think the biggest thing I've run into is separating, especially working from home, separating work time from family time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that sometimes they kind of mesh together and
Right.
then you can get really burned out. Like if you're going to work from home and it's going to be full time or part time, have a set schedule and hours.
Mm-hmm.
9 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'm at work. Close the door. Don't bother me unless it's an emergency.
Right.
And then at 4 p.m., you close up your shop. You turn off your phone,
Yeah.
and you enjoy your family. I think that's probably one of the largest takeaways that I've learned from doing this
Yeah,
like
no,
I
that's a
have.
good tip. I would have always thought that if you're working from home, you're pretty much on the clock 24 hours, but it doesn't have to be like that.
Yeah, it feels like like, oh man, I got so much to do. Well, turn it off like you would a day job. You
Yeah,
gotta have that separation to keep at it for long term, I think.
absolutely. Yeah. All right, I think that's the end of our slides here. Now, in the beginning of the live stream, I mentioned that we have a flash discount for everyone that's here in the chat today, or here in the live stream today. So we're gonna post that up here. So this flash discount code is just simply OneLaser, spelled out the way you see it, and it's a 5% off discount code on our stores. If you go to onelaser.com and just add to your cart whatever you want to purchase and just type in OneLaser on the promo code line, you'll get 5% off your order. So if you guys want to take a picture of that or just write it down somewhere, now's your chance. And we're also going to open up to questions and answers. So if you guys have any questions, just post them up on the chat, and me and Colby will try to go through as many as we can, if not all. But I can also scroll back here because I know I saw some questions throughout, and I want to make sure I hit them. So let me just.
Yeah, see, I think the first one was where'd it go here? How do you know what design to use at shows? That was the first question I saw in the chat from
Oh,
David.
yeah, I think I saw that one, but for whatever reason, I can't
David,
scroll over.
you gotta know your clients going in prior. If you're going to a like a bridal event, don't bring a bunch of hunting stuff. If
Yeah,
you're going to a hunting show, bring a bunch of fish and hunting and deer and maybe gun, Second Amendment, whatever political party that you think they like.
yeah, there you
Um,
go.
and go with that. You can definitely have stuff on there that can offend people though if you go to the wrong crowd. Um,
Yeah,
you know, vet your customers, know kind of what you're getting into, and then honestly, if you're not the creative mind, you can hop on Etsy and type in anything you want. Deer hunting SVGs, and you can
mm-hmm.
go and buy a packet of 100 different files for a couple of bucks, and then you have all those files to use and download or whatever. um, and have fun with it. I think is the most important part. I think some of the funnier, maybe even some of the more vulgar sayings that we put on stuff actually sell the best, and it definitely grabs people's attention. You know, they'll stop and go, "Ha, that's hilarious,"
Yeah, I've seen
and
some of your
then
designs, and I've
they
thought the
might
same exact
stop
thing.
in shock for two
Yeah.
minutes, and then they might buy something. Versus if you just had, the wrong stuff on there, they might just walk past you and never see you.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's some designs sell great at fishing shows, and then you go to another fishing show and it's a totally different design that's popular. You never know. That's the
Hmm.
hardest part about being in a craft business is knowing what shows will sell what designs and what people are going to like. It's impossible to nail down.
Yeah. All right, let's see. What was our next question?
Amanda Perry asked, "What do we use? What do I use to clean my leatherette?" When I'm doing leatherette, there's a couple of things I like. LA Awesome's a pretty good cleaning material. It's pretty potent and strong. Dawn Power Wash is probably my favorite. I don't know what they put in that stuff,
Hmm.
but Dawn Power Wash and microfiber rags, or I like to buy like knockoff magic erasers, like stuff you can find on Amazon for in packages of 100 or 200. And we spray some Dawn Power Wash, magic eraser, real lightly because um, it is like sandpaper. Just do a real
Yeah.
light scrub and then wipe it off with a microfiber. For tumblers, that's amazing. Dawn Power Wash and magic eraser on tumblers to get that like gray color off of it when you engrave a tumbler. Or if you've got a really stubborn one, um, blue BLU, blue powder coat stain remover or whatever it's called,
Hmm.
powder coat residue remover. Spray that on there, let it sit for a second, hit it with a magic eraser. That's amazing. If you're using an RF laser and you're engraving like those rainbow tumblers, 4 aught steel wool and blue works really good.
Hmm.
Or or you could even get into acetone, but you got to be careful with that. I don't like using acetone whenever I can avoid it.
Yeah, if you want to use something like that, I know that denatured alcohol is a pretty good choice for cleaning up like acrylic. Sometimes when you cut acrylic or engrave on acrylic, you get that really stubborn kind of haloing, and denatured alcohol gets that off real easy.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And you want to make sure that when you do that, like if you use isopropyl or something like that to clean acrylic, make sure you wipe it off quickly because
Oh
it
yeah,
will, if you leave it on there, it'll like dull the glossiness of your acrylic. I've noticed that before. I'm like, whoop.
oh
Let's
yeah. Let's see. We
see
got
what else
another
is
question here
here.
by Derek Fleck. I just joined. Can you start over? Unfortunately not, Derek. But I believe it's gonna be posted on our YouTube and Facebook after it's gone, so you can just rewind.
Yeah, you can come back to it, Derek. Don't worry. There'll be a link to rewatch everything. Let's see. Is there any other questions in any of the other chats up there?
I see we got one from Stubborn Bull. What got you over that possible fear? And just say you know what I need to jump. Wait, what? What got you over that possible fear? And just say you know what I need to jump all in on this.
Well, to be honest with you, it was not me quitting my job. It was me being let go from a job. Um, you know, I worked for this company 3 different times, and each time it was a big corporate company. I knew exactly what I was getting into. We butted heads a little bit, and on some of their business practices, and they didn't like me speaking out about it. So
Hmm.
um, I was actually let go from that, and I needed to figure out my next step in my life because that was unexpected for me. Um, so it was like, well, I could go and get a regular job in sales and in the boat industry anytime I want.
Mm-hmm.
I have enough connections where there's other places that would 100%. I just have to call and pick up the phone and go. So I
Yep.
was like, well, I could go back into that and keep doing what I'm doing, or I have this really unique opportunity that I've made last year almost 100 grand with my side business. That's pretty good money. And that was me giving it 25% of my attention.
Mm-hmm.
What if I gave it 99.99% of my attention and I went all in? How long can I make it work? Or how fast can I make it grow to the point where I don't have to worry about it?
Yeah.
And I track all my sales through Square. That year, I can track January, February, March, and then April. January, February, March, and April, my sales were okay and good and more than normal.
Mm-hmm.
My first full month of being full time with my business, May, I tripled sales for any of those previous months because now I had my full attention.
Yeah.
Now I could follow up with customers that I've done work for previously, ask them if they need anything else, ask them if they're ready to buy more hats, go out and hustle new business, go to events and have my tent or my trailer at an event
Mm-hmm.
and be present trying to gain new business. And my first month, I tripled my business's income from previous month past. And I think it's not just by luck of the draw. I think it was because I had my full attention put into it. And then every month since then, it was like that. You could see the chart, little chart, little chart, little chart, little chart, and then everything else was all the way through until we made that year. We started off slow, but the end of the year, I think it was 170 grand in gross sales.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, I only did that for 8 months full time. What happens if I do it for 12 months full time? Now I'm a full year into it. How big can it get? Can it get to
Mm-hmm.
200? Can I get it to 300? Can I eventually sub out some work and hire some employees and get it to half of, I mean, where's the roof of this thing? And I haven't found it yet. So I'm still
Yeah.
still trying to make it work.
Still scratching
And
at it.
it's been a blessing for sure.
Yeah.
Blessing and a curse. Most it's stress, it's
Well.
headaches, it's lots of taxes and doing bookkeeping and all the other things that's no fun with owning a business, but
Yeah.
it's becoming something really, really cool.
Yeah.
And
All
it's
right. Let's.
mobile. It's got wheels, so
Yeah.
pick it up and take it wherever you want.
All right. Let's see here. We got one more question in, and then we're gonna call it. But we got from Lumumba Kafra. What software do you use for tracking sales material and other financial parts of your business?
So software for that. So tracking sales, I use Square. I like their program for sending out invoices and things like that. It's nice and easy. The fees were fine. No affiliation with Square. I just like it.
Mm-hmm.
So that tracks all my sales, and each item I have an itemized item. So every Richardson, I have a color for every Richardson 112, every Richardson 168 model, every UPUM Classic model, every performance hat brand or model I have a separate line item for that, so that I can look back later if I need to and see what colors were trending, what model hats were selling better, so that I know how to produce my inventory later.
Mm-hmm.
For material, I don't have a software for that. I just look over my shoulder and go, "Hey, I'm low on light brown leather." Um, Same thing with the hats. I'm really bad at tracking inventory. I look on my wall and I go, "Okay, we're almost out of purple, whatever. Order some more."
Mm-hmm.
For my performance hats, I try to do like either quarterly or biannually orders and get them in bulk from my manufacturer to get them here. And then I just keep them in boxes until I need them. Um, a lot of the other stuff, though, like tumbler orders or shirt orders or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
I don't keep a lot of inventory on that because they're not my high volume orders. So those will be like ordered on a job. Like somebody wanted 100 white polar camel tumbles like this from JDS.
Yeah.
I would wait till that order gets put in. I take all payment up front in advance for everything I've ever done. because once I engrave it, I can't go back. Um, so then if they pay for 100 of them, I'll go in and I'll make that order. It comes in 3 or 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the suppliers are so quick that it doesn't make sense to stock $20,000 worth of hats on the wall,
Yeah.
even though I do because of my performance line. That's
Mm-hmm.
my own brand. So I've got to order those myself in bulk. I can't just go to All Day Shirts or the Park Wholesale or S&S
Right.
Activewear or any of these other wholesalers and just order them.
Mm-hmm.
But like Richardson's and Yupongs and stuff like that, I just order those when I need them. Same thing with leather. I order probably a couple of grand worth of leather at a
Yeah.
time, chop it up into little squares, put the adhesive on the back, and put it on a shelf, and then I just physically look at it. Um,
Okay.
but then, like for taxes and stuff, you're gonna use probably QuickBooks.
Yeah. All right. So I remember you had something running on your machine there. I remember because
Yep. And
we got Larry here. Larry P817. Colby, waiting on my OneLaser XRF and Lightburn software order to arrive. Finally upgraded from my POSX tool. Show me how to make a patch alive. So I mean, we probably can't
by
show you.
POS, it's funny.
We can't show you how
All
to do
right,
it
we,
live
we
right
can,
now. But
yeah, we
Colby
can
did
do
have
that.
something running.
Could I, if I get on Discord, can I share my screen on my laptop?
I don't know. Um, I don't know if we have time, but if you can just, if the thing is finished, we can just kind of like show off what the machine's made in this time that we've been here.
Yeah. So tell Larry I'll call him with a video later. He's actually a good friend of mine. So
Yeah. All right. All right.
um, we just did this, and it took 1 hour and 19 minutes, start to finish. And it was, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 48 patches, 42 patches right there, start to finish in an hour.
Wow.
And it's black leatherette with just an engraving for one of my businesses I do a lot of work for. And those are actually fun. They're actually going to go on the TikTok viral hat with the fans built in it.
What?
They ordered like 25 or 30 of those things. So
I have never seen
they
that.
do air conditioning here in South Florida, so they want to keep their guys nice and cool.
Yeah.
But that one right there, that is the Hydra 9. That is my favorite machine right there. That thing is a beast. Anybody that calls me and asks me for advice on lasers, I always try to get them into a Hydra now because I think it's probably the craziest, best machine I've ever owned.
Yeah. Wow. I think someone mentioned that to that. Huh. I remember seeing someone saying that they're not gonna fall for the Hydra. They're gonna stick to the XRF. But anyways, we're gonna wrap this up. Um,
Oh, that was probably Southern Bull. I saw him comment on that. He's still paying off his XRF. He said
so,
that's funny. But yeah, no,
yeah.
they're both great machines. My XRF goes with me on the road everywhere, and it's crazy how many times I've been at a show or an event and it's
Hmm.
been dead as far as like sales of my pre-made stuff that I think is cool.
Yeah.
But because I have a laser on site, I can offer completely customized one-off stuff right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you how many times this year that having a laser on board has saved me from having a bad show.
Wow.
Even if the crowds are down, if you can customize something right then and there, somebody will
Yep.
buy it. It's
Absolutely. Yeah.
or I go to shows to find new vendors because most of the shows I go to, there's 300 vendors that are there selling their stuff, and
Right.
they all have hats or tumblers or something on their thing
Yeah.
that they're trying to sell. So
Mm-hmm.
you kind of get into these fishing shows and all these custom rods. Oh, cool. Why don't you give them some hats? And I pick up a lot of vendors there.
Yeah. All right, man. So I think we're gonna wrap it up. Uh, I just want to thank everyone for joining us. It was actually really cool. We went a little over time from what I anticipated, but I mean, it just flew by. Um,
Hey man, I'm a talker, so you get me talking and I stop. I'm sorry.
no, and no, I didn't feel like that. You know, it was actually really engaging. I think that we covered a lot of really good topics. Hopefully, it was something useful to everyone out there that was listening. Hopefully, you guys learned something. Maybe you guys took notes. But if you guys do have any more questions, I'm sure you can reach out to Colby. He doesn't mind. Um, or you can
Not at
reach
all.
out.
Reach out. Find us on social media and
Yeah,
reach out. I don't mind helping and answering questions. And none of this is secretive. I learned everything from somebody else too. So
absolutely. Yeah.
I can pass on what little knowledge I've got to help somebody else be successful. I'm here for it. So,
Yep. Everyone was a beginner once, So we're not
yep.
here
I
gatekeeping
look back at
anything,
my first hat I ever made and I go, what was that?
All right, guys. So we're gonna call it a night. Have a good night, everyone.